While Oxford's plans may be the most radical, Southampton was among the first cities to consider a clean air zone. That's when the most polluting vehicles pay a charge to enter. Then, 2 years ago, local leaders decided to take a different route to reduce emissions. Our transport correspondent Paul Clifton is at the city's biggest bus depot to see how it's working. Paul.
Alan, Southampton's biggest problem is that a third of all harmful nitrogen oxides, or NOx, come from background sources over which the city has no control. Other emissions come from shipping and come from industry. So road transport is only one part of a wider problem, and it was felt that charging the most polluting vehicles to enter the city wouldn't have sufficient impact. But this would. So take a look in the back of this bus. 145 older buses in the city have been retrofitted with the latest and cleanest diesel kit. Now, Mark Reddy from First Bus is here with me. Mark, can you quantify the difference this has made?
Yeah, so it's made a big impact to emissions. What you see in the engine bay is here. This is one of our exhaust treatment systems. The emissions we want to get rid of come inside, circulate, we put some additives in there, it goes through a filter, and out the other end we managed to get 83% reduction in the amount of emissions compared to the buses that they previously replaced.
Now, the City Council tells me that every bus in Southampton is now effectively clean air zone compliant, but these are still diesels. Other cities, Salisbury, Guildford, are experimenting with battery buses.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be having 34 electric buses in Portsmouth in the near future.
OK, now, what more do you think can be done in Southampton, in your view, to get more people out of their cars and onto what is cleaner or greener public transport?
Well, having clean air is really important, but at the end of the day, whether in an electric bus, electric car, whatever, we still have congestion. And that means that we've got to make buses have priority in our cities to make the journeys more reliable, quicker, and make public transport more attractive to everybody to use.
But for the foreseeable future, they're going to have diesel engines like these. I mean, we're not all about to go electric.
No, in the short term, there will be some diesels. We will not be ordering any new diesels after 2022, but there's still going to be some time to convert us to electric.
OK, Mark, thank you very much indeed. Now, there's also been a taxi incentive scheme in Southampton that has led to half the taxis in the city now being either hybrid or being battery powered. And have a look at this. This is genuinely new. Haven't seen this before. I've driven a battery powered van before, but this is the first fully electric lorry I've been in. There aren't many of them, but this one has a range of 150 miles, enough for daily deliveries. It's heavy. Underneath are batteries big enough to run 4 or 5 cars. So, does that make it expensive too?
It depends on the vehicle. If we're talking about a bin lorry, for example, which is high fuel consumption, you're probably looking at cost parity between a diesel vehicle and an electric vehicle over its life. Other vehicles would be slightly more expensive. To give you an indication, a pint of milk that is delivered by a diesel vehicle would cost maybe an extra 1 or 2 pence delivered by an electric vehicle.
Broadly, transport is responsible for about a quarter of all greenhouse gas emissions. Portsmouth's way of tackling that is to have the clean air zone, and Oxford will follow. Southampton thought this whole package of other wider measures would have a greater impact. We've talked a lot in recent weeks about electric cars, electric vans, electric bikes, battery buses, cleaner engines. What is clear to me from all of that is this. In urban areas, the biggest change will always be achieved by encouraging people or forcing them out of their cars, whatever power source they use to get around, and moving more people onto public transport instead. Alan.
Paul Clifton, thank you.